Hello everyone, welcome to Virtua Vibes with Pierre and Parves and special guest today, Azeemi all the way from Lahore. Azeemi, man, the machine, the legend, also known as Brown Jesus. But today you don't have your hair down, so I can't call you Brown Jesus.
I never said that, by the way. That wasn't me.
Other people do say Jesus is brown, so we're not going to get into that right now, right?
Okay, let's not go there.
How's things, Azeemi? What's going on, man? What's going on?
That's great. Hi, guys. And it's great to be on the show. And by the way, just before we start going to the talking, I love this show. Finally, this is something which I was kind of always waiting for, something coming out of what we do to the community, to the people. And finally, there is actually something for Parves to do finally. Because you were sitting
nobody's actually mentioned that. It finally came down to you to say that this is finally something that I do.
This is your calling, man. This is your calling,
Azeemi, thank you for coming today. Unfortunately, our other guests dropped out at the last minute, so we had to get, we needed a filler. We need someone to fill the scene. So
Absolutely.
Man, we are scraping bottom of the barrel, I suppose.
Yeah.
Where are you right now? Are you in the office? Is that the office in Lahore?
Yes, I'm in the office. I was just working on something important, and then I thought, let's talk some trash with you guys for a while.
What is behind you, man? Is that like a caricature of you? It doesn't look like you if it is you.
Actually, my girl got it made for me, and it's a caricature of me sitting on the floor with the smoke in my hand, with some, I don't know. That never happened before, by the way.
Yeah, it's the long hair. Right, that's why.
Look at that. Wow.
And I can see all those also, you've done the tech thing about writing on all the glasses and stuff, right? Or did you just do that for us today to make it look very nice? And
No, it's just the way I work. I think, all those crazy people we see in the movies and read about in books who write on walls and like this. So these are my goals.
You're like one of those crazy intelligent scientists who just got to get your shit
This is Russell Crowe in Beautiful Mind, remember?
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of.
I don't have golden hair,
And I don't know what the mind as well.
I see you're trying to sneak in. You're trying to sneak that old Terraverse logo in. That's what you got on the back wall, isn't it?
Exactly. It's that.
Yeah. We got it. It's so hard to keep a leash on you, mate. It really is.
Is that the first logo? Is that the first logo we had? Or do we have previous iterations of that?
No, actually, this was one of the logo which we were thinking of the verse. And, because we were thinking of a huge campaign, so I have 700,000 of them printed and they are sitting right there in my office. And I don't know what to do with them.
Come up with a different product that's got the same branding. And
700,000.
Yeah.
Oh,
and how much did that cost to print? Are you allowed to say? I mean, how much was that?
Yeah, but actually it was, I think, $3 a print. It's a lot of money which I spent on it.
Make sure Anoop isn't watching this one.
No. What I did is I still have to charge for it. But what I did is because we were going through, I will go through financials and all that. But that's your money and let's just get it printed. And we got it printed and then it was it's not happening. So it's a it's an investment which I have. Let's see.
So, you know what? One thing we want to talk to you about. There's a lot of OGs in Terra Virtua, but I consider you like the OG of OGs, right? You were probably the first one who actually met with Jawad and, from the initial days of being, I think, a games company dovetailing into the, what was the origin story? How did it all begin between both of you? And you guys know each other for a long, long time now, yeah?
Well, actually, there was a time in my life when I was done with doing jobs and I was like, no, I'm not working anymore. I don't want to work anymore. And I was just chilling and relaxing.
Is it because you had a lot of money or you just decided?
No, I was just like...
okay.
I was done with marketing,
Pierre?
Sorry, this is from before or this is now? I'm not sure.
So I was like, no, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to make some products. And for that, I did not want to do a job. So I was back home chilling and just enjoying myself. And one of my friends who was working with Jawad actually, he called me up and asked me to help on some campaigns which he was doing. And because I was like bored, so I just came to Lahore, was sitting with him and was telling him about this, whatever he was trying to do on some SEO and SEM campaigns and stuff. I had no idea that this animated character who is like roaming around in the office, this funny little guy is his boss and is Jawad and he's that guy. And while I was done with him and I went back home and the next day I got a job letter and that was like for the job. I'm like, I'd never applied to anyone. So who has sent me the letter? And it was Jawad. And my friend was like, no, I'm not doing a job anymore. I'm done. He was like, just come over and just meet the guy and let's see. So I came over, I met Jawad and it was a great meeting and I felt inspired the moment I started talking with him. And then I told him, okay, I'm not here for the jobs and I'm not going to do a job. So I want to start something new, start something interesting, which makes sense to me and which adds value to what I do for the company with which I work for, the industry in which I'll be working in, and eventually human life. I read a lot of books, so I could quote some stuff. So he was like, okay, let's do something. So we started off with kids gaming. We did some very interesting kids gaming for a couple of years. We were the very first people in the world who ran an animation on Apple Watch. We were the very first people in the world who Google tweeted or pushed out as the very first augmented reality game in the world on a mobile. We did some interesting stuff back then. Then he wanted me to start working on some VR stuff and I was too like stuck with, no, this is my audience. I want to work with that. And one day he came in and placed a headset on my head, just like that. And that was
mind blowing.
Like, yeah.
Wow.
That just told me that I never liked the balance of this world. Like while growing up, there were a lot of things which I thought that if I would have a chance, I will fix them or I will change them. So the moment he put down that headset, I was like, this is where I can do it. Mm-hmm. So, and then we started a VR AR company. We made a few games, some really good, interesting stuff. I mean, one of the games which we had out there was an escape room game. And till date, I go to the store. It has a shit rating, I think 2.3, 2.4 something. But there are articles in comments where people are telling, do this and do that and change this, which means that people loved it and they wanted it to improve. So that told us that, yes, we do have that kind of a potential that we can engage the people in this immersive reality. And then we were just sitting, having some conversations. And I'll be bluntly honest, it was Ash. He sent me the very first document of a one-pager of a world in which we can bring together all of our VR games and create a consolidated experience. And that just gave me the thing. And then I again took a leave, went into my isolation for 15, 20, 30 days. And when I came back, I had a document of a product for digital immortality in which I'm going to take your data and your voice and your consciousness, map it onto a digital avatar, put it into a virtual world, back it up with a small little AI. And one fine day, me and you will die, but that personification of us will live on. And that was the original product.
And this was when? This was in 2017, 2018?
16. I just presented it to Jawad and he got excited. And I asked him, how much money do you have?
Very good question. Yeah.
Yeah. So he told me that I have a lot and I will give like 70%. I'll keep 30% of that to myself and I will give you 70% of my personal money to start working on a prototype for this product and let's see where we go with that. So that I can tell that I spent a lot more than his 70%. I spent more than $3.2 million of his personal money before we had even the first demo out in the market. But when the first demo got out in the market, then it's a journey.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. So tell me one thing. What was it about you that when you were talking to the other friend and he decided to send you a job offer? What was it?
I don't have eyes here. So he was here somewhere. I was on the screen. I don't know. But that's probably a question for him to answer. But what I would say, like when I met him and we did the initial talks and we talked about like what is possible and what I realized, this is one crazy guy who has a lot of ambitions, who have a lot of energy, a lot of inspiration to give. But the people around him are just techies. Sorry. And they're just not able to understand. This guy used to draw, and Jawad, I have seen sketches of like manga and all that stuff from Jawad's childhood, and they are amazing.
Jawad, really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I can do an awesome stick man, but that's about it.
Yeah, me too. So when I was talking to him and the initial conversation, he told me like, I have in my bedroom, I have four frames, and one of them is Star Wars, and one of them is this and that, and one is empty. And what I want to do is like make a product, make a legacy like this, that I place that one in my frame. And when I'm lying down, I'll say, hey, that's mine. So I could have like, okay, I'll give you that product.
Oh man, Pierre, we haven't even actually, Azeemi, before you went into this, we haven't even introduced you to everyone.
Oh, that's right. Yes, tell us who you are.
Yeah.
Because we're still wondering. We're like,
Azeemi is, in the shadows, but he is fundamental to everything Virtua. He is the Metaverse man, the Metaverse guy. Like this title of his, the Metaverse guy, is chosen by him, right? When he was asked, what title do you want? He chose it. So do you want to introduce yourself and let us know why you want this title?
I don't know how to introduce myself. I'm Azeemi, and generally that's it. And these days I'm the Metaverse guy. And again, like I was heading up the product development company, which Big Immersive, which produces the product from day one, from where we started it. And it's based in Pakistan, Lahore, and it's all the local product, the way we put it. And when I was transitioning from my product development company to the product company, we had that conversation that I had, because I was the CEO over there. So I had to be a C something in Virtua. And we were having this conversation. And then me and Jawad, we were like, why do it has to be a C something? Why it can't be something else? I was like, yeah, cool. And now, like, these are the reasons why I work with and for Jawad. And I was like, yeah, let's do something. So I put on, I was like, how about the Metaverse guy? We will call it TMG. And I was like, yeah, I love it. And who was like, how the am I going to explain the banks and financial institutions and everything else in the world that we have a CEO and a CEO and a CMO and a...
You should have done CMO and then fought with Pierre for that, Chief Metaverse Officer. Right? See?
Yeah.
What's up, baby? What's up?
I think there's another wrestling match coming up. I had a little rumor that you like Long Island iced teas. Is this accurate?
Well, actually, what I've learned in life is those are the best shots.
Can I just interject and say, this is where the conversation is going to be derailed into somewhere we don't know. So, guys,
in fact,
be prepared for this, please.
Wrong is we should be having a Long Island iced tea while we're doing this interview, because it'll be much more interesting than it is.
I agree.
So yeah, so sorry to interrupt. You were saying about the Long Island tea shots.
Yeah, those are not drinks. Those are shots. And after 3 or 4 of them, you are like there where you are supposed to be.
And where is that? And where is that? Okay, maybe we shouldn't. Okay.
Yeah.
So and also you are an enabler, so we know that you bring out the shots for everyone in that particular moment.
Yeah, well, exactly, because when I joined the product company, I was like, man, apparently so many nice people, but they are so boring. Let's get them talking. Let's get them like, yeah. So now it's a tradition. Whenever I'm coming over, it's like every single day, 5:30, we ping each other. Let's go to Garden on 8. We start from there. We hop between bars. Then people get drunk, they are trashed, and they get back home and they come up hungover the next morning while I will come back to office and I work.
This podcast is not sponsored by Garden on 8.
Yeah, it's not.
How do you manage to work after that, though? I do not understand that. I mean, I'm literally struggling to put one foot in front of the other at that point.
And also another thing, you have weird working habits. Let's just agree on that, right? You work best at night. And you're sleeping in the morning or whatever. You're not functioning, but at night you're completely in your element. And we're talking about 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. This is when everything is, when you send the emails, when you send the messages,
Well, I was messaging with him last night. It was 12 o'clock for me and 4 a.m. for you, right? I mean,
yeah. This is how it is. I don't know. I think night has some special kind of inspiration when it comes to my thought process. So what I like to do is I don't like to waste my time sleeping. Mm-hmm. I invest my time in getting inspired when everybody else is sleeping.
So you are a night owl.
See how eloquent I sound. See how philosophical, eloquent I sound saying that. No,
you literally prepared that for this podcast. Thank you for that.
So, Azeemi, one of the things we do with our special guests is we ask them to tell us something that nobody knows. I mean, not some of the stuff we were sharing by the pool the other week, but I'm talking, something broadcastable. Tell us something about you as Azeemi the man.
Like in terms, we want original stuff in Virtua Vibe, right? And we've gotten something or the other from everyone, and we love to know more about you. What makes you, or some story, or some fun thing, anything. You like art. You love chess. You love, you love motorbikes.
Yeah, but I think nothing of it is again, like these are the things which I caught up while I was growing up. I had opportunity to ride bikes, so I fell in love with the engine. I had an opportunity to I was the last student of one of the biggest math teacher this country has produced. Somehow he was like literally 3-4 streets away, and he was some 80 years old man, and I was his last student. So I literally forced him to teach me, and that's where I learned chess, and I fell in love with the phenomena of it. Books, the place I was born and being raised for first few years, it was a small village town, and it had nothing to do. We did not have TV signals. We did not have proper. The radio was the only medium of entertainment over there. It was literally a far away village. But what we had are somehow, because of the English colonial, before the separation, that was one of the biggest English counties of the region, because after that it was Indian Rajasthan and all desert area. So this was the last green area. So what English did while they were there, they built libraries. Mm-hmm. It was their resting point. They had those what do you call them, cantonment areas and libraries. That was all what I had growing up. Definitely, when we did not have. And by the way, I did not went to books by choice. I wanted to do crazy shit, but I did not know what is crazy shit because there was nothing to do. So books were the only option available. So went for books, and that's where. So the way I will put my life together is I feel lucky. I got great teachers. I got great friends. I got great opportunities to actually learn and understand the things which people generally don't. Mm-hmm. And that makes up the person who I am.
Yeah. One thing I'm always fascinated by is that your background is a marketeer, right? But then you've run Big Immersive. You were heading technology down there as well. And whenever we talk, you're in the nitty gritty of tech itself. So how did you get to that? And is this something that you've done, you've learned, or you've been with developers, you ask the right questions, you deep dive? Because the element of knowledge you have doesn't come from reading. It's actually being with them, or you've taken an interest to understand. So how did that happen?
again, the way, when I was in uni and I was doing I did my master's. I started off my MPhil for linguistics, and by the way, I tried, and whatever my accent.
What was your master's in?
Tried. Literature, English literature.
Right.
Yeah, I love the language. I have a weird kind of. When I was in my what you can say, my 10th grade, I was in love with maths and all that stats and numbers. Everybody thought, yeah, the kid is gonna be like a mathematician. But I took engineering for my 12th standard, and they were like, okay, the kid is now going to be engineer. I took commerce for my bachelor's, and they were like, okay, the kid is now going to be a businessman. I took literature for my master's because I was like, fuck it. I want to learn the language.
And they said the kid is doomed.
Yeah. So while I was doing my MPhil, I started it off and I had a fight in my university with one of my deans or heads or somebody.
There's a theme developing there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I told them that keep this piece of paper, and this is not going to define who I'm going to be in my life. And they still have my degree. I never took it from the university because I never needed it. And from there on, this is how I have lived my life. That if there is a thing, look, the way I believe in knowledge is if this is something which I don't know about and I'm aware of it, this is the very first stepping stone of knowledge. This is not information now. I clearly know that I don't know anything about it, which means that now I have something to learn about. And this is how my career is. Because whenever I was working on something, I needed to know what's happening with it. If I'm marketing something, I'm trying to sell something, I always needed to know that what does it do? I'm telling them that it's going to write in yellow. I don't know. Does it write in yellow? Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't, what is my point of view about that? So that was something which pushed me towards changing my career path from marketing to product development. And when I came into the product, I always say that the truth of the product is the sell of it. So for me, it was like that, hey, come to Virtua, we have 3 features and they work. That is, sorry, that is really...
You had what? No, I didn't hear what you said. I missed the insult. What was it?
Yeah, no, this is not. What I'm saying is like the whole brand strategy and all that stuff. I love that. I understand that. I literally respect that. But my point of view of selling this product is like we have 3 features and they work. We don't have 3,000, but the 3 which we are giving you out, they will. And I think it was with Harry the other day. I was having a conversation and I actually tried explaining that to him as well. That what people don't understand about Virtua is. It's not a mobile app. It's not a web application. It's not a marketplace. The way I see it, it's another reality. And we are trying to connect to that reality via these devices, which means that every single feature or every single, every single connectivity pointer, whatever we have with our the digital touch point which we have for our users, it has to be same across all the devices. If I can do a transaction on blockchain on a website, I should be able to do it on the mobile. I should be able to do while standing with my VR headset in the metaverse, just like that.
I don't think anyone disagrees with that. I think you want to have a what's the word I'm looking for? The same experience you have on a phone to your desktop to your iPad. I mean, there's no disagreement on that. I mean, that's the holy grail of product for me.
Yeah. So I think of it as a the OS, the operating system of another reality which exists. What we are trying to do here is trying to create those kind of bridges in terms of our products, which will allow us as human beings to travel to that reality, experience that reality as it exists. I'm not creating that. I'm just bridging us to that world. That's how I see it.
So this is a good segue into something. We've had many conversations regarding this. So while you absolutely are a fan of what we're doing, creating new experiences, making a world for everyone, the fundamental of the metaverse, how you think of it, is very different, right? For you, it is like a place to live forever, that even if our physical body were to die, a consciousness lives over there, like Altered Carbon, that TV show. Like, what are you thinking? What is your thought process behind that?
So we are going down this road? Sure.
No, I don't think we should go down this road.
No, we should. I would love to know. Like,
I think, no, look, you go and then I'll come back because I don't necessarily agree with all of it. But you go ahead. Come on, tell us your point of view.
Look, and actually in 2016-17, when we started talking about all of this, people called us crazy. My friends arranged psychiatrist group therapy sessions for me. They arranged a prayer session somewhere that I've lost my mind talking this. The way I believe it, that there is one universal single conscience which exists, and our information and knowledge comes or transports from there and vice versa. Like me, you, all of us, we are a personification of one universal conscious being, and then depicted as personalities, as me and you, with some part of it. And sometimes we can connect to that universal conscious, and that's when I don't need to read something to understand it, because it comes to me, just like the apple on the head. So I always was fascinated about the concept of being connected to a singular conscious and getting my information and knowledge from that source rather than finding it. When we were thinking about this product, the idea was that, is there a way that I can connect to a singular conscience? And if I can be a part of it, probably some part of me, or vice versa, some part of it can live on. The human form which we have is a form. I'm alive since, I think, 4 billion years as a sperm and an egg into body of male and female, and was the lucky one who did not got ejaculated or wasted in a session.
This is the Virtua Vibe, the science edition.
Yeah.
Are you saying that you're a strong swimmer? Is that where we're going?
Yeah.
Clearly.
So are you. And we travel from like bodies to bodies because, again, it's not a coincidence. The fingerprints which I have, the DNA code which I have, the all the signs, the lines in my eyes and etc, all that stuff. It's like a sperm and an egg, and they matched and created this form. It means it's not a coincidence that this signature could become. If there was a possibility of that happening, there must be copies of me. But it's just me, one of me, and one of Parves, and one of Pierre. It means that it was that particular egg and that particular sperm which was supposed to become this bald guy sitting here, and they traveled through ages.
That's me, Pierre, not you.
Up till to the time.
I was looking around.
Yeah. Up till the time when the universe decided that, okay, now Parves can take this form and Pierre can be this guy. But I'm not conscious of that time yet. So the way I understand it is, even the being which we call ourselves, human beings, it is greater than this shell. We were alive and conscious and were doing our jobs thousands of years ago, and body to body and stuff. And then, like, even when I was getting conceived, I have no idea of the time of those 9 months. But I was conscious. I was eating. I was sleeping. I was doing my. And now I am conscious of this life, but I don't know that what the next form. Again, like when we die, we go under something, or we get seminated, or whatever the ending goal is. I believe that the cycle of life is bigger than that, and I'm not talking metaphysical, by the way. It's all physical, which we are talking right now.
So wait. So does Slick, but still,
can I just jump in?
Yeah.
Can I jump in and say that your beliefs are your beliefs, and I'm not disagreeing with them. I think it's just important to share that we're not positioning Virtua Prime as a swimming piece, right? It's more about, we're talking about, we're simplifying a little bit. It's more about discovery and engagement and your limitless opportunities and experiences, of which swimming may or may not be part of that.
Look, my tagline for the product from day one is "Let's live forever." Pierre, heard that?
Yeah. We're not using that just in case anyone's watching this. Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't sell, and I agree. But this is my pitch. If you will sign up to Virtua, I will keep you alive for 500 years.
If there was a single episode.
How does that work? I've aged about 50 years in the last 18 months. How does that work?
No, there are many stories about the tagline, everyone, to our audiences. I will inform everyone when I have a solo episode.
Yeah.
With some iced teas.
Yeah. What happened during the brand meeting?
I think we're sort of running on time, so I did a little research before we had this call, and I spoke to a little birdie who told me that, and it fits well with what you've told us. So it sounds like this is plausible that you were a poet back in the day, and I was hoping that you might have a little bit of poetry you could read to us on Vibes. World first.
Really, dude? What? How'd you get this information?
Oh, okay. So now that's some information.
Talk about research. Good job.
Mate, I have my sources. I will not reveal them. Thank you very much, Jawad.
Wow. This is a good one. Phil, I don't remember.
No. We can't let you go, bro. No.
Seriously.
Let's pause recording. Go get a poem. Come back.
Yeah.
Give me 5 minutes. I'll write something up about PP.
No. We want your.
It's relevant, Parves. Come on, let's do it. Relevancy is everything.
Okay, let me tell you a story about that poetry. I was a pretty good poet in Urdu. I won some national black verse and a few competitions and stuff back in the day. I was getting published, everything. And then one of my teachers, he was like, you are not a good poet. You are just intelligent. These are two very different things. You have a good set of vocabulary which you can put together in terms of like lines and verses with balances, which are great to hear, which are...
Isn't that poetry though? No?
Which are fine. Yeah. No. Well, the guy, what I am saying is very different. Just putting together something in a line which makes sense is very different from what actually gets created when you actually have that writing vibe. And I understand that because I have written in both ways. So I never wrote publicly after that day. I still write for myself. I was like, no, it's not for publishing. But the interesting story about the poetry is the only things which I ever wrote in English. Back in high school, I was in love with Nicole Kidman, and I was writing poems in Urdu about her. And what I was doing as a fanboy, I was translating them into English. I found her address in one was in Australia and one of her home was somewhere in LA. And I found the addresses, and for I think 2, 3, 4 years, I was writing in Urdu, translating them into English and sending it to her address and expecting that one day she's going to read it.
See, this is the kind of stories
we need a Nicole Kid poem, man.
Yeah.
This is the story you should share when you ask for something new, right? That nobody knows about.
Yeah.
You're clearly a more intelligent man than me, because my poetry went as far as there was an old lady from Nantucket and didn't really go much further. So.
And so you said, okay. Anyway.
So about poetry, I think that's it. That's a good story.
That's a very good story. Where's your writings? You don't have it anymore? I'm sure you have it somewhere.
I mean, they're lying down here and there.
Yeah, talk about educators, stuff. Right? Education leaders telling you, no, you know what? You have no talent. Just stop. Wow.
No. The guy was not telling me that I don't have a talent. What he told me is like, I don't have a heart behind the lines which I'm writing. I was just making them up to win some competitions or to impress some people, but not to convey what I was feeling, because I was actually not feeling any of it. And because he was such a great poet himself, he could.
Yeah, he could.
Everybody was praising for me on the stage, and he was like, you have no idea what you have just. You have just said it just to win a competition, just to have a medal. Do you mean what you are portraying? And I was like, no. He knows me. So,
you know, when I was in, when I was in sixth, talking about education, right? In 6th grade, I used to go for extra tuition for math, right? To this teacher. I think after a few months, she called my mom and said, he is useless. You know what? I see a career in catering for him. My mom was crying. My dad got pissed off. I came back. Like, I'll show all of you. I'll show all of you. That was in 6th grade. And my grades were always pathetic. I went to college. And first year, I joined a catering company. And I remembered. I'm like, how did... Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
I did catering for a few years.
Yeah.
But I bet you there's skills and life experiences you had doing that job which you've taken away for the rest of your life.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh man, 100%. I did. Yeah. I didn't show up for the job for the first 3 days. I was a privileged Dubai kid. I went to the States and I went back after 3 days. Hey, yo, I'm back. And they were like, where were you? I'm going to fire you. I said, no. Why are you firing me? So they gave, as punishment for a couple of months, they put me in the dish room that's under the building. All I was doing is cleaning dishes. I learned life lesson. Yeah. Learned a lot.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And that's why he has a happy marriage life now. He go home, he washes, and all good.
All right, baby, let's do it. Very nice, man. Very nice. Very nice. This is excellent. Some new stories, huh?
But you know what? I was thinking that this session is gonna go haywire in so many other directions.
But no, you know what? I knew it. I knew this was me and Pierre talked about it. This could go every which way. We're gonna contain it.
Yeah.
So we presented a very eloquent, intelligent Azeemi.
Yeah.
It's amazing what a good filter can do, right?
Yeah.
What else, man? What else can we talk about? Is there anything else? Like, I know you love your boys and your entire team in Big Immersive. You want to shout out to them? Anything? You have a huge team over there and they're awesome, amazing people, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, again, like the way I'll put it is there was no product if these people were not here. This is as simple as it gets, because these are the people who have believed in it. When we were trying to convince them, the finest minds of the country, to actually come together and try to work on something which nobody has even thought of. Just imagine, man, like now we are talking metaverse, now we are talking like all these digital realities and stuff. It sounds fine because now the Facebook is Meta. Everybody is creating a metaverse of their own. So it's fun now, or it's cool now to say that, yeah, I work in a metaverse company. 16, 17, it was crazy. When I was telling people were calling me blasphemous because, I was telling them that, okay, let's live. What I was telling them is, have you heard of a story, like a place where you can live forever and do whatever you want and etc. and they call it heaven. Well, this world is that heaven. And they're like, we want to kill you.
Oh my God.
And from that point, these people, they believed in me, they believed in us, they believed in the product for last 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And starting from a small little team of 5, 6, 7, 8 people, and now with 150 strong and actually growing from that point on as well. So I think those are the people who have made it happen. The reason why I started the dev updates or that side of the things, not with the updates or not with like the stories about what we are doing this. I started it off with the people. I just roam around the hall and actually try to show our community that where this product is being made. Who are the people who work on it day in and day out? Who are the people who are thinking about it for last 7, 8, and 9 years? And now when the product is finally coming out onto the place where we actually started it, we had to pivot because of the market, because of like a lot of things, how business goes. But finally, we are back to our roots where we are building the metaverse, and now, how happy they are now that finally what they started, now they are
building it now.
Yeah, absolutely. All I have is praise. All I have is respect. And I always tell my people that to work in this company, you have to be a better human being and a better professional than me. I am your standard and I'm not a good one. So
easy.
Yeah, easy. Very easy.
So maybe Pierre, we haven't had an official dev update this week. And we have this guy in front of us, right? So Azeemi, maybe, man, is there like what are the cool things coming out of, from your side? Give us some updates.
Well, Pierre will kill me, but I have some things to tell.
Will we ask Pierre first? Pierre, can he? Are you allowing him to speak?
Yeah, because this is going out next week. So by next week, we'll at this point next week, everyone will know about some cool stuff coming out. So go for it.
No, I will not talk about like anything in the long term. That should happen in the way we are trying to make it happen, trying to build a hype, trying to take the community with us.
And that's for sure. Just tell us some cool stuff you're working on that we can talk about next week. Because people are going to see next week.
Probably not next week, but by the end of this month, we will be giving up everybody who has bought land. For instance, everybody who has bought a land on Cardano Island. What they don't know is the land is also tied with a house, and they will be getting a free house very soon. Because we were like, okay, fuck no, you have bought a land and now you have to pay for the place to build up. And because this is happening in the market and people are just charging whatever the fuck they can charge their communities for. And what we are trying to do is trying to bring in people. And once you have that network and community, the business will never go away. So what we are trying, for instance, for the Cardano Island, the plan is that we will be giving them their starter villa, starter crib as free. Mm-hmm. It will be probably, I don't know how they will plan it. It will be either a drop or it will be a claim event. And probably, Pierre, I would say, please make it a claim event because those 5 days of claim, it was fun, man. Just to see the map popping up, changing colors, it was fun.
Yeah, that was great. That was really good.
So however we make it, but those people will be getting a free house to start with, a free space to start with, and then we other stuff as well. So this is what is happening immediately, like in next few weeks. We are working on our planet, the Virtua Prime. Mm-hmm. And when we will get there, I'm not saying anything. Don't.
No. I think that's the one, Pierre, is okay for you to mention because by this time next week, it'll be out.
Of course, I'm like excited about it. This is where, for the very first time, that people will actually start to see that what is our proposition of the metaverse. Because right now, it's a piece of land, it's on an island, and you will have a house and a place to host your NFTs. That is cool. But here that exists, people just don't know it yet or don't understand it yet. So when the Prime will come out and the whole planet will be there and you will be able to go in and see the places, just like you see this Earth on Google Maps. That is something which I'm really excited about.
Stop teasing people, man. So exciting, dude. I'm telling you. Yeah. All I can say is if you got excited by an island, wait for the fucking planet. It's gonna be. Yeah. It's gonna knock it out of the
soundbite. That's a soundbite. We're gonna cut that down to a short.
But this is a good one, you know?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Parves has found his vibe, you know? I
found my vibe. It's Virtua Vibe, baby. What's up? All right, man. I think, dude, fantastic talking to you, man. Pierre, what a session, dude. Yeah. I felt we got a lot out of this one.
I'd love to hear a poem, though. I'd love to hear a poem.
Yeah, okay. That's the one thing missing.
I'll text you.
Next week's show, pop in for a quick cameo.
Yeah.
And read us your poem, okay?
Yeah. That'll be awesome. Pierre, so Azeemi, as usual, we end with a Pierre special. Pierre loves dirty jokes.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm just trying to find something to keep us all amused when the pressure mounts.
Can we do a community giveaway for best dirty joke or dad joke?
Let's just say best joke.
Okay, fine. Best joke.
Because dad jokes are terrible.
Yeah.
Dirty jokes are, some of them are broadcastable, some of them aren't. So
let's do something cool for the best joke. Yeah.
But you know what? There are some dirty dad jokes as well. I'll ping you one, Pierre, after this.
I think Pierre's gone through all of them.
I'm gonna close with this. A guy was walking down the street and this woman shouted to him, "Give it to me, give it to me." She goes, "I'm so wet." And he looked at her and goes, "Whatever, girl, you ain't getting my umbrella." That's all I got.
Yeah, fine. It went into the dangerous territory and kind of veered back. Fine, I respect you for that.
I mean, I'm not sure we can use that, but that's all I got.
Yeah.
But everyone, man, guys, this was a fantastic session. Had a blast. I had a blast. I'm sure you guys did as well. Azeemi, man, thank you for your time. You're a busy individual. I can never get hold of you unless it's 2 a.m. So thank you for making it at some PM, right? So, Pierre, Azeemi, till next time, Virtua Vibe.
Yeah.
Tata.